air travel has moved into a stricter phase, and by 2026 airlines are no longer relaxed about cabin baggage. A carry-on issue that once earned a simple warning can now get you stopped at the gate instantly. In this video, we explain the updated carry-on baggage rules for 2026. Stay alert, airlines worldwide are enforcing these policies more strictly than ever before, and ignoring them can be costly. You could lose money, waste valuable time, or even miss your flight entirely. Before we dive into the rules, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss important travel updates again. Rule number 10, carry-on size is now enforced with zero flexibility. In 2026, size limits are strictly applied, with no room for negotiation or human discretion. Airlines have removed subjective decision-making by introducing uniform metal sizing frames and automated measurement systems at multiple airport checkpoints, all calibrated exactly to airline standards, which means a carry-on must fit naturally without any force. If a bag needs to be pushed, tilted, squeezed, or compressed to fit, it is immediately labeled oversized. Soft-sided luggage that expands after packing is especially at risk, and items such as wheels, handles, external pockets, reinforced edges, and corners are all included in the measurements, leaving no room for interpretation. Once a bag fails the size test, gate staff are instructed to enforce immediate gate checking, often at a higher cost than checking the bag earlier at the counter. Rule number 9 highlights another major issue in 2026. Carry-on weight has become a quiet deal-breaker. While many travelers focus only on dimensions, weight is now one of the most common reasons carry-ons are rejected, as airlines are strictly enforcing limits that were previously ignored. Digital weighing stations are now commonly installed near check-in desks and boarding gates, especially on international and long-haul routes, meaning a carry-on that meets size limits can still be refused if it exceeds the permitted weight. This rule particularly impacts passengers traveling with laptops, camera gear, heavy clothing, or multiple electronic devices. Airlines defend these tighter controls by pointing to safety concerns related to overhead bin stress and the risk of injury to cabin crew. Once a bag is marked overweight, travelers are left with no choice other than checking it immediately or removing items on the spot. Rule number 8 signals another major shift. Personal item policies are no longer treated with flexibility. By 2026, airlines have clearly redefined what counts as a personal item and are enforcing the rules aggressively. A personal item must fit completely under the seat ahead without spilling into legroom or aisle space, and oversized backpacks, stuffed tote bags, and bulky laptop cases are now routinely stopped during the boarding process. Airlines have trained gate personnel to spot oversized personal items on site, often before passengers even reach the aircraft entrance. Trying to pass off multiple bags as a single carry-on and one personal item is now one of the quickest ways to be stopped. When a personal item fails inspection, it is reclassified as a carry-on, which can instantly push a passenger over the permitted cabin baggage limit and lead to mandatory gate checking. Rule number 7 highlights another high-risk issue. Expandable and overstuffed bags. In 2026, expandable carry-ons have become a major concern for airlines, as expansion zippers that once offered packing flexibility are now treated as an automatic sign of oversized luggage. Even if a bag fits when unexpanded, opening the extra compartment can cause it to fail sizing checks. Overfilled bags that look misshapen or bulging attract immediate scrutiny from gate agents, and airlines no longer allow travelers to squeeze or compress luggage by hand to make it pass. Once a bag looks overpacked, it is often sent for measurement regardless of the dimensions claimed by the passenger. This has caused a noticeable rise in last-minute gate rejections, especially among budget and short-haul airlines where overhead bin space is already limited. Rule number 6 marks a major shift in enforcement. Gate agents now have zero authority to make exceptions. In 2026, airlines have completely removed discretionary decision-making from gate staff. In the past, polite requests or brief conversations could sometimes lead to leniency, but that option no longer exists. Airlines now operate under strict compliance systems supported by internal audits and performance monitoring. Gate agents are closely tracked to ensure uniform enforcement, and making exceptions can lead to penalties for staff. Once a carry-on is identified as non-compliant, the ruling is final. Once a bag looks overpacked, it is often sent for measurement regardless of the dimensions claimed by the passenger. This has caused a noticeable rise in last-minute gate rejections, especially among budget and short-haul airlines where overhead bin space is already limited. Rule number 6 marks a major shift in enforcement. Gate agents now have zero authority to make exceptions. In 2026, airlines have completely removed discretionary decision-making from gate staff. In the past, polite requests or brief conversations could sometimes lead to leniency, but that option no longer exists. Airlines now operate under strict compliance systems supported by internal audits and performance monitoring. Gate agents are closely tracked to ensure uniform enforcement, and making exceptions can lead to penalties for staff. Once a carry-on is identified as non-compliant, the ruling is final. Many travelers expected liquid restrictions to ease over time, but 2026 has brought a renewed focus on strict enforcement. Carry-on bags containing liquids, gels, aerosols, or creams above permitted limits are now often stopped before passengers reach the aircraft. Even duty-free liquids bought during transit can create issues if they are not properly sealed or lack valid receipts. Toiletry kits filled with several near-limit containers frequently fail checks when the combined volume exceeds allowable thresholds. Airlines and security authorities are coordinating more closely than ever, which means a carry-on that passes security screening can still be rejected at the gate if liquids are visible or poorly packed. This rule has caught even experienced travelers off guard, particularly on international connections. Rule number 3 points to another overlooked factor. Carry-on allowances now vary more by aircraft type. In 2026, the specific aircraft being used plays a larger role in carry-on approval than many passengers realize, as smaller planes, regional jets, and short-haul aircraft enforce tighter cabin baggage limits due to limited overhead bin space. A carry-on that is accepted on a long-haul aircraft can still be refused on a connecting flight operated by a smaller plane. Airlines no longer take responsibility for fitting bags that technically comply with general policies but are incompatible with specific aircraft models. Gate announcements asking for volunteers to check bags are often followed by mandatory enforcement, and passengers boarding in later groups are particularly at risk since overhead space is prioritized for early boarders. Rule number 2 highlights another major change. Loyalty status no longer guarantees carry-on approval. In 2026, frequent flyer benefits no longer provide flexibility when it comes to cabin baggage. Airlines have applied uniform enforcement across all passenger categories, including elite members and premium card holders, meaning any carry-on that violates size, weight, or content rules will be denied regardless of status. Airlines are now focusing on consistent enforcement to prevent disputes and delays during boarding, a change that has caught many experienced travelers off guard who once relied on loyalty perks for leniency. The message is simple: rules apply to everyone, and full compliance is mandatory. Rule number 1 underscores the most costly carry-on mistake in 2026, assuming problems can be solved at the gate. Gate checking fees are now much higher than standard checked baggage fees paid earlier in the journey, serving as a deterrent to prevent non-compliant carry-ons and keep boarding moving efficiently. Once a bag is rejected at the gate, passengers are not given time to repack or redistribute their items. Once a bag is flagged, it is tagged, removed, and sent straight to the cargo hold, increasing the chances of delays, missed connections, and potential damage. Avoiding last-minute gate rejections has become one of the most crucial travel strategies in 2026. Air travel today is far less forgiving, and carry-on mistakes now cost travelers both money and missed flights. The updated airline carry-on rules for 2026 are already being strictly enforced worldwide, so ignoring them is no longer an option. Staying informed before you reach the airport is now the smartest way to avoid stress and surprises at the gate. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for trusted travel updates, real airline rules, and smarter ways to fly with confidence.